Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. This is Conversation Shegun, and today we are having this conversation. This conversation is very crucial and I felt this conversation needs to be held. And honestly, I've been preparing for this day. This conversation needs to be held, and I titled this video "Don't You Dare Address Me the Way You Dress" because of the quote, "You are addressed the way you dressed." So this quote is very problematic to me, and I really hate this quote. Let me just plain and simple. I really hate this quote. This quote have been used to justify injustice, rape, problematic mindset, the degradation of other human beings, and the way taking away people's body autonomy, and so many other things that are very problematic. But you know what? Let's just get into the conversation. Let's get into the video. Like, you are here for a good time, premium quality time. I hope you guys stay to the end of the video. I will really be happy if you guys watch this video, like the entire video, and please give it a thumbs up if you actually enjoyed the video, and also don't forget to subscribe. So let's get started with the video.
Having colored hair doesn't make you unprofessional. Having colored hair doesn't make you unprofessional. I can kick your ass if my hair is green. I can read contracts if my hair is pink. I can serve you food if my hair is blue. 'Cause having colored hair doesn't make you unprofessional. Having colored hair doesn't make you unprofessional.
So there's this quote, "You are dressed the way you dress," and honestly, I would have totally believed in this quote if this quote was 100%, emphasis on the 100% true. But then this quote is often linked to morality. The saddest part about this quote is it has turned into a reality by which you get to tell who is good and who is not because of a piece of fabric they have on their body, and it is sickening to me, if you ask, and not in a good way. This quote fuels rape culture, problematic mindsets, degradation of other human beings, and it allows humans who perceive themselves, quote unquote, perceive themselves to be of higher moral standards, to disrespect others who are not, who don't fit in their small world. Before I start with this video, I feel certain words needs to be defined to actually help understand this video. The first definition is stereotyping. As Evans and Nixon define it, stereotyping is the practice that, quote, reduces people to a few simple essential characteristics which are represented by fixed by nature. So you see someone in the body they are in and have a preconceived notion of who they are based on no evidence, or you think the person is this way because that's just how it is, meaning you are ignoring someone's complexities and reducing them down to certain characteristics and assuming they are born that way. It's being able to hold few easy to grasp characteristics about someone and reducing everything about them to those traits. This causes us to exaggerate and simplify a person. And the second definition is prejudice. And prejudice is an unfair and unreasonable opinion or feeling, especially when formed without enough thought of knowledge. And in this case, forming an opinion or feeling surrounding someone based on their clothes. And the third one is bias, which is conscious and unconscious, which is inclination or prejudice for or against one person or group, especially in a way considered to be unfair. Someone who is biased usually refuses to accept that there are other views other than their own. So let's get started with the video properly.
But many people that steal Nigeria's money and destroy this country, they all wear agbada. And I've not seen anybody being stopped on the road for wearing agbada to say you are a potential thief. Take off your agbada, naked him. Anybody wearing agbada or kaftan. Everybody that has stolen money in Nigeria, I've seen them in kaftan and agbada. And they don't arrest everybody in kaftan and agbada. But they will see young people with tattoo and dreadlock and say, "Oh, you look like a Yahoo boy." You know, I mean, they don't stop people and say you look like a politician. You know, say you look like a Yahoo boy. This is because they don't want you as, or we as the people, to express ourselves. Because, you know, it's really a slave-master relationship. And that is what we are standing up against.
So clothing itself is a powerful non-verbal communicative tool and a form of self-expression that provides others with cues about our personality, mood, education, culture, financial status, and social ranking, amongst numerous other impression cues. What does that mean? That certain, for example, if me as a person is putting on a specific clothes, maybe a Mugler or Prada or Louis Vuitton or one expensive clothes, people will definitely know that, okay, I'm from a very rich background. Or for example, when it comes to education, if you see a doctor wearing a scrub with an ID card, emphasis on the ID card, because there are people that can actually be putting on the scrub, but yet they are criminals. So emphasis on the scrub and ID card. I will automatically assume he is a doctor. Also for a policeman holding a gun, an ID card, and putting on his clothes, I will automatically assume he is a policeman because of the way he is dressed. Which that makes sense if you think about it. But these specific clothes are linked to specific jobs, and not everyone has a quote-unquote professional clothing that they are to put on. So that statement, clothing, kind of makes sense. And when it comes to self-expression, there are certain people that feel they can be expressive in the way they wear clothes, or it kind of give a cue about who they are. But that doesn't necessarily mean you can determine or you can guess who is moral and who is immoral because of the clothes that they are wearing. Because a policeman can actually be an armed robber in disguise. So when I was going to university, my parents told me, don't join bad gang, and this is not the first time I will hear this, honestly. Oftentimes, when we pass a group of boys with dyed hair, piercings, tattoo, ripped jeans, and t-shirts, and those boys are often referred to as bad people. And even though we knew nothing about these people's lives, there is already a preconceived notion or a general thought that these people are bad. And when we see girls in the provocative clothes, or clothes that are very skimpy, they are often referred to as prostitutes, loose girls, they lack home training, they are rude, they have no future, or they are not future oriented. Basically, they consider them to lack self-worth for themselves, and they do not respect themselves in general, which this is not also true. These set of people are considered to be immoral and are the reason we have this dysfunctional society. But they don't tell us, the lecturers, who are neatly dressed in suits or a traditional way, and they want to take advantage of underage girls because they are in position of power. No, they don't tell us about these people. We find out along the way. I was never told about the man who beats his wife and children but wears nice suits and traditional clothing to cover his evil, pretentious ass. No, I was never told about this. So I'm a Nigerian, and we have the most evil, emphasis on the most evil, inconsiderate assholes, as we call leaders. They don't care if you live or die, as far as their pocket is getting richer and they look good carrying out all these evil atrocities. I mean, have you seen our leaders? They are very neatly dressed. Their agbada is always shiny. Most of them some of them are even on suit. They are always looking. I hardly see people on suit. But what I'm saying is, these people are neatly dressed and they are very evil, pure blank. Like we are one of the poorest country in the world. That should give you a cue. We have been conditioned to think and put negative thoughts on specific looks based on what media, culture, our religious backgrounds deemed evil, and we automatically assume everyone that looks a certain way is not socially acceptable, or the person is evil. So I was chatting with one of my friends one day, and he said something about how Catholic churches used to castrate boys in hopes to maintain their soprano voice because they banish women from singing. I mean, misogynistic much. I couldn't help but wonder how these boys have been robbed of their future and their ability to father children, all because a man decided that women should not sing anymore. And the alternative to that is, let's have these boys castrated. Why not? Like, they don't care about their future. They don't care if they want to be fathers or not. Let's just castrate them for our own benefits, because women should not sing in the choir anymore. So we were told what clothes a bad boy wears and how his appearance can tell if he's moral or not, but I'm waiting for the clothes to identify evil politicians who steal from their citizens. What clothes we use to identify a rapist who dresses nicely, a misogynist who is always looking forward to degrading women in the most demeaning way possible and strip them of their respect. What clothes we use to identify neglectful parents who leave their underage children to fend for themselves. Please, I'm looking for us to provide those clothes. An auntie who deceives girls from the village so that she can sell them to the highest bidder for sex work. I'm still waiting for that clothes. What clothes we can use to identify a racist man or woman, especially ones that are Christians. What clothes we can use to identify corporations who are benefiting from resources of the community and they refuse to improve that community. So in Nigeria, we have a bunch of oil corporations that are owned by foreign entities and they take resources from communities and there are no good functioning social amenities in those communities. No good electricity, no good healthcare, infrastructures, infrastructure for schools, and basically things that people consider to be basic human rights. Those people don't have it, but yet these oil companies keep taking away their resources, taking away a bunch of things that this community owed without actually investing back into the community. And we sit in our high horse to judge those who deemed abnormal or to be problem of the society simply because we don't agree with their looks. I mean, make it make sense. Like, the math is not math. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, are you guys understanding what I'm trying to say here? So in Nigeria, we had an EndSARS protest last year, and the baseline for the protest was Nigeria police harassing, extorting, and killing youths based on their looks. If a boy or girl has a tattoo, piercing, dread, dyed his hair, or is perceived fresh, he or she is a target for assault. And the expression that caused this assault and harassment was the quote, "You address the way you dress." And who else will use this quote? The older people, older generation, to justify all these assaults and harassment, basically. And this quote is used to justify the lack of respect and empathy for others. We as a society have put certain negative stereotypes over certain looks, and the media is really a major factor in this. I bet the designers of these clothes were not even thinking about all these things when they were creating all these clothes. We tend to forget that different people come from different backgrounds, social status, and financial status in general. So some people put on certain things that they can actually afford, and certain looks that they actually deem worthy of their self-expression. But we forget about that. No, we forget about that. And for example, a black man or woman wearing a shirt with BLM written boldly on it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is good. The man or the woman is just basically fighting for the right to live as a black person. And there are several stories of pastors who have been having affairs with their members, and the white garment that they put on doesn't absolve them of this immoral act. No, there was even a story of a pastor who sexually assaulted a 12-year-old girl in Abuja, and he's been sentenced to prison now. I mean, he was a pastor, people trusted him spiritually and also emotionally, and this man used his power and his status to be able to inflict pain and take away this girl's power to safety and security. He took the liberty to make sure that these girls feel weak, because why not? He has power. And nobody will actually know, except because I know in Nigeria, if a rape case come up, most times often the victim that is being blamed, they will look for the clothes the girl is wearing, why is girl in this place at a particular time, and so many stupid backups to kind of fuel this rape culture. If we can know who is good and who is evil by the clothes we wear, I guess everyone will be neatly dressed, because a clothes like this will make a perfect disguise to do evil. So I was reading a book by Chimamanda titled Dear Ijawele, or A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions, and the book addressed the issue of dressing and morality. The book says, and I quote, "Never ever link Chisalom's appearance with morality. Never tell her that a short skirt is immoral. Make dressing a question of taste and attractiveness instead of a question of morality. If you both clash over what she wants to wear, never say things like, "You look like a prostitute," and "I know your mother once told you." Instead say, "That dress doesn't flatter you like the other one, or doesn't fit you as well, or doesn't look as attractive," or simply say ugly, but never immoral, because clothes have absolutely nothing to do with morality. And I strongly believe that, I strongly agree with that, that the clothes that we put on has nothing to do with our morality. And this reminds me of Ivy Weinstein. That's if I said his name correctly. And I didn't forget you people. I remember you, yes, you, Jeffrey. I remember you, Jeffrey Epstein, and also you, the black man, Bill Cosby. I didn't forget about you. But that's a topic for another day. Over 80 women have accused Weinstein of sexual harassment, assault, or rape, and is now convicted. He did all of these things over the course of 30 years while looking good in suits. And I could bet he had other accomplices who helped him in carrying out all these atrocities so that he could be free every single time he did all these things. But then we want to address a tattoo artist who enjoys drawing tattoo on his body for a living, or a software developer. He is very flexible because he wears a jean that is torn, or a shirt that we deem inappropriate. Also, we have the likes of Dr. Boniface and Dr. Samuel Oladipo, the lecturers who were involved in the Sex for Grade documentary by Kiki Modi in every universe by Kiki Modi. If you remember about this time last year, there was a documentary that came out called Sex for Grade by Kiki Modi, and the documentary was basically sex for grade, lecturers that want to sleep with their students for grades. And this documentary actually is a perfect documentary for this kind of topic, because the people that were in that documentary were one of them was a pastor and the other one was a lecturer, and the clothes that those people were putting on were perfectly normal. It was perfectly acceptable by the society. And these men are horrible men. I mean, horrible to the core. Like, they want to groom and sleep with underage students. They are freaking terrible. But you know what? They are putting on a very good cloak to cover it up their sin. And for years, they've been getting away with all these atrocities and acts, and we keep shutting our mouths, because why not? They are putting on a very good clothes, and they are respectable people in the society, so you cannot necessarily pinpoint that they are terrible people. So to me, what I'm saying is, everyone deserves to be treated with respect and dignity, no matter the clothes that they put on. It's not by the clothes that we put on that will necessarily tell us who is moral and who is immoral. Don't get me wrong, there are terrible men who put on these clothes, or put on this covering itself, or they bring out this persona where these clothes kind of help them to function. I'm not taking away the fact that they are terrible men like this. All I'm saying is, you cannot necessarily determine who is good and who is terrible based on the basis of the clothes that we put on. Hence, this statement, "you are dressed the way you dress," is totally flawed and it should be abolished. So I hope you like this topic. I really enjoyed myself. I hope you guys enjoy yourself, and you are educated, and someone takes away one or two things from what I just said. And I hope a lot of us will consider respecting people, allowing people to have power and autonomy over their body without taking their respect. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.